Y'all, the first prints have arrived. I am gonna sit down and do a good video about all this, but I'll have to wait until later to clear some space to actually put the prints out, and I can't wait to open this box and see what they actually look like. So for the intro to this video, I'm gonna do a yabo here. My first ever prints from the Pinhole project. I ordered these last week. I had an appointment with the printer, and then I ordered these online, and I actually have received these prints faster than the printer would call me back, which is, I don't know what that says, but I'm happy to have like something to look at finally, if I can actually get into these. Okay, let's see what we got here. Are you ready? I'm ready. Wow. Oh, Pepper, your life is so easy. You don't have to make hard decisions like, which is the best paper for this project? Hahnemühle German etching, Kodak Pearl Metallic, or these two, which I can't even remember. Okay, we're here at my kitchen table to compare these prints, and it should tell you something that this is my acid-free rag mat that I used in previous shows many, many years ago. It should tell you what I thought about the possibility that I would ever hang another show, that I now use this stuff as backing board for my targets when I go to the shooting range. But I think it will be just fine for these purposes. I ordered 4 prints, and I know that, well, here, I'll show you the image that I used to make these prints. Okay, the reason I just show you the digital copy of that image as opposed to zooming in on one of these prints is that they'll never look the same. There's so much that goes into printing and photography in general that you can't get the same look on a monitor as you can on paper, and now I'm showing you all of this through the distortions and biases of my phone and YouTube and your monitor and, you know, whatever you're watching this on. So it's going to seem like I'm talking about details you guys can't even see, and that might be the case. But the reason I took them outside first and foremost is because I wanted to look at the colors of the paper themselves in the sun. Now, it's really hard to look at images in the bright sun on a phone, so I brought them in here to do a little more comparison. But I don't know if you can see, I'm sure you can see if we line them up, how much warmer this paper is than this paper. And the others are not quite as different. I feel like they're all pretty white, but this one is super warm. So these are the papers that I'm looking at here, and I'll go ahead and tell you because I plan to be pretty transparent about this stuff. I'm not a person that likes to keep secrets about my processes. This is Fine Art Burrito from Hahnemühle, Fine Art Burrito Satin, Burrito, and Burrito Satin right here. This is the Hahnemühle German etching, and this is Kodak something metallic. I don't care. I ordered the Kodak metallic just for fun. I knew it wasn't a paper I was going to go with long term, but I wanted to see what these images looked like on metallic paper, and they look really cool, to be honest. This is kind of a gimmicky paper that I wouldn't have normally even considered, but I had to get my prints up to a minimum order for them to ship. You know how it goes. So and it looks pretty cool, but what is a deal killer for me is you see that sort of sheen there in the dark shadows. I can't take it. I can't take the way it almost looks posterized. That is gonna knock it off the table for me. Also, it's not an archival paper, and the other 3 are. They will outlast me or you or our children. So while this does look really cool in the right light, and it would probably look cool if I paid special attention to that in post-process, I think this paper is off the table. Now is where things get difficult. That leaves 3 papers here. So we've got the German etching, the Burrito satin, Burrito, I don't know how to say that, the Burrito satin, and the just the Burrito. So these are all Han Mule papers. They're all super archival. What differs about them apparently is the tone of the paper. This is the Burrito satin. It's super warm. It's super warm, and I don't really like that. It's just kind of too warm for my tastes. Furthermore, it suffers from the same sort of posterization effect in the shadows that the Kodak Metallic seems to suffer from. And I don't know if that's just me preparing a poor file, but the other ones don't do it. So I think it's the paper or the finish on the paper or whatever. Again, the warmth and that weird posterization are going to knock that one out as a contender. Now, things get really hard. Oh man. Okay. So, this is the Hahnemühle German etching. This is the Fine Art Burrito satin. And the first thing, I opened the curtains again so that you could see the difference in the tooth on these papers. So obviously this is a glossy paper and this is a matte paper. And it's difficult here to see the texture of the German etching. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit there. It's an incredibly textured paper. More so even than the samples I had seen. And I like it a lot. I actually really love it, actually. But I'm not sure it's the right paper for this project. Let me close the curtains. I'll be right back. So glossy papers have richer blacks than matte papers. See that? See how the blacks here are much deeper than these? Also, glossy papers have a more durable surface than matte papers. And you can see, I mean, I haven't had these things. This was actually, this little tiny speck didn't get printed. You would not see that on a glossy surface. That was a piece of the paper that, well, I guess it did get printed and then it came off. And that was that way before I took these out of the package. So the reason I think that this might not be the right paper for this project is because we're going to have a lot of blacks in this project. They're going to be super, super dense, dark negatives, well, images. And I just don't know if I want a matte paper for that. On the other hand, I'm seeing something now that's really actually kind of interesting. If this is the matte board I'm going to use, which it is, this paper, the Burrito, is a little cooler and a little brighter, whereas the German etching matches it exactly. But maybe you don't want it to match exactly. I mean, maybe you want it to stand out from the matte a little bit more, especially with this high contrast. But then let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so I brought them back outside. The sun is behind a cloud, and I left the wrappers on them. Hey, Pepper. How you doing? Which one do you like, Pepper? I left the wrappers on them to simulate how they would look under glass. God, I can't tell. I am so torn. The Burrito loses a lot of its edge when they're in the wrappers, you know, because the glass, the simulated glass of the plastic, adds a lot of pop to the blacks on the German etching. Oh, I just can't. I mean, it mostly comes down to. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Pepper? Which one is right? What's your preference? She doesn't care. She just wants food. Okay, so don't tell anybody this because this would totally ruin my cred as an artist. But I know a lot of you are waiting on the edge of your seats to buy prints from this project. If you want a print of this image, if you like anything you've just seen, they're all really good prints. They're just on different papers. One of them is not archival. I don't think it matters. They're all 8x8. The image area is 8x8 square. The print area is 10x10 square. $50, man. $50 for one of these test prints. Don't tell anybody that I'm selling test prints. You know they're test prints. I know they're test prints. Nobody else needs to know they're the test prints. $50. Hit me up. gribbliesfolly@gmail.com. Send me a message on Instagram @gribbliesfolly. Send a comment down below. Whatever. We'll get you a print if you just can't stand it. If you just gotta have a print. And first come, first serve. Let me know which paper you want. And man, they all look really good. It's just, which paper do I want? That's the question. Let me know what you think in the comments below, matte or glossy, and if you want to print. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the top of the bun.